So a lot of people see a conductor in front of an orchestra, a guy waving his wand or a woman waving her wand. And they say, what is the purpose of that person? Why don't they just get off the stage? What are they really doing? I mean, and it is true, some ensembles, if it's a small enough ensemble, they don't really need a conductor. They can kind of read each other to stay in time. But a conductor has many different jobs and things that he does to make the music better. The first and foremost thing is to be true to the composer. He or she wants to bring the music out of the musicians that he is conducting. I'll just say he instead of he or she every time. And make it as true to the conductor's desires and wishes as possible, as he couldn't understand them to be. He can't get in the mind of composers, but he can certainly read what's on the score and try to derive the best intentions of the composer from that analysis of the score. So one of the main beats with the right hand, he keeps a beat, like this would be 4/4, 1, 2, 3, 4. In the left hand, you're doing all sorts of. If they're playing too loudly, you can bring them down. If you want more, bring it up. If you want it to be flowing, the orchestra is going to play how you're conducting. So if you're conducting, like this, they're going to be playing in a flowing way. If you're conducting, like this, they're going to be playing in a more sharp, detached way, more intense way. So he sets the mood for the orchestra. He is the figurehead, he is the leader, and he is the person that the audience sees that makes the show more exciting because they have a central figure to watch moving around. But many behind the scenes roles that a conductor plays. I mean, one, it's funny. If you have different conductors go up and let's say they conduct the first minute of a piece, each of the pieces, each of the iterations of the piece are going to sound very different. I mean, because the conductor brings out different things because of many things, his facial expressions, his movements. Does he seem like a nice personality? Does he smile? Does he make the orchestra feel confident? So it's really amazing to think about. Like it will sound different with a different conductor because of who the conductor is. So they research music. Let's say you have an orchestra that has a strong violin or string section, but has a weak woodwind section. Well, you may want to look at your choices in the repertoire. To pick pieces that fit your set of players. Or let's say you have strong brass but very weak. Well, hopefully you don't have very weak strings in an orchestra, but you play to your strengths and you look at who do I have, and how is my orchestra? Is this gonna be them biting off more than they can chew? So picking a piece that suits the players that you have, but before even the conductor gets on the podium, he studies the score for hours and hours. He studies the harmonic elements of the score. He studies the time changes, the ritardandos, the accelerandos, crescendos, decrescendos, entrances, key entrances. Who carries the melody? Who's the focus in what part of in a certain part of the piece? He marks. I need to, make sure this instrument plays this accidental. He should play an E flat there instead of an E. So I need to mark to make sure he's doing that. He really just instills confidence and makes the best music come out of the musicians. He's supposed to stay silent. You're not supposed to say anything like I did in my video where it was just a sight reading session. So I was trying to keep the musicians on. So I was saying 1, 2, 3, 4. I was saying this is B or this is C. But in concert, you're supposed to stay silent and you're supposed to bring the best out of the musicians that faithfully represents what the composer intended. But yeah, finding players, advertising for players. Uh, Fundraising, because classical music does not really, I mean, you don't have to conduct classical music. That's generally what people think of. But, a lot of types of music needs fundraising because it doesn't make enough money with ticket sales. Um, public having a public face, you could do interviews and to get your name out there and get the marketing out there so people know about the orchestra and the performances coming up. Um, so it's a lot of preparation. It's a lot of knowing, even individual musicians. You don't want to. Trumpets are so used to hearing, be quiet. You don't want to constantly tell them to be quiet because it's just going to kill their confidence. Or you don't want to uh, constantly nag on strings for being out of tune at first. If you're in a non-professional orchestra, I mean, eventually they will get better and better at their parts, and it will sound more and more in tune as time goes on. Uh, so yeah, telling jokes every once in a while, making them feel like they want to come to rehearsal, they want to perform because they like the conductor a lot. So it's a lot about facial expressions. If it's a mysterious, anticipatory type feeling, or if it's like a big grand, you want to look strong and proud, and what you do with your body and your face, the musicians read and then they play that way. So you want to look like you want the music to feel, and they will interpret that. So conducting is a very important art, and yeah, there's been a lot of great ones. I mean, Claudio Abbado, I think is how you say his last name. Simon Rattle. A lot of conductors composed or conducted their own music, including Mahler. He was one of the great conductors. He was actually known more as a conductor in his life, and his music wasn't really respected that much in general until after he died. But so that's a little bit about conducting. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.